many's the long winter's night I spend idly browsing through the scrapbook I kept during World War II to help me remember every delightful, worthwhile moment I spent in the service. I can remember so well the induction center at Fort MacArthur, California, where I, and a lot of others like me, spent our first 2 days in the Army. For this occasion, I had chosen to wear my most expensive, beautifully tailored gabardine suit, because my mother had told me,
if when you report, they see that you are accustomed to dress neatly and take pride in your appearance, they'll give you a uniform that fits.
And so it was that I found out once again that my dear, darling mother almost never knows what she's talking about. Breathes there a man who will ever forget his first journey via good old Army troop train, with its sleek, modern Pullmans, originally put in service just in time to rush reinforcements to Valley Forge, and its highly stimulating poker game that went on 24 hours a day in what we called the Card Room and Recreation Lounge. It was in this intellectual background, never before seen by the eyes of man, that I first saw Archie.
4 queens.
Archie and I had enlisted in a strange, ill-fated outfit that went under the name of Civilian Pilot Training. And although they kept telling us that we were a part of the Air Corps, when the chips were down, we could never find anyone of any rank who would step forward bravely and claim us. Our first stop was Kearns Field, Utah, right outside of Salt Lake City, for 6 weeks of basic training. Basic training. 6 weeks that really separated the old men from the young boys. We did the things that all good little basic trainees do. Learned how to use the bayonet. Qualified on the carbine, the M1 rifle, the Thompson submachine gun, and saw all the latest movies for 15 cents. It was at Kearns Field, also known affectionately as the hellhole of creation, that one of the high spots of my service career occurred. It happened on our 20-mile hike. To teach us in the practical way that we should always have our gas masks with us 24 hours a day, they had formed a special detail of sneaks who would creep up on us anytime, anywhere, and I mean anywhere, and start tossing tear gas grenades around. Then, finally, flight training. And we were sent to Prescott, Arizona for our primary course. The idea behind the civilian pilot training program, now, you'll have to listen close because to this day, we have never gotten across, even to our families, exactly what it was that Daddy did in the Great War. It all started this way.
Now, here's a pool of men that we haven't made use of up to now. They're mostly over age with families, but they've all owned their own planes or had previous flight training.
What's your idea, sir?
Well, first we ask for enlistments, and then they'd have to be taught to fly the Army way.
Naturally, sir.
And after their training, we could commission them as instructors or ferry pilots. That's to release our young men for combat.
Well, there's only one problem, sir. We're desperately short of training planes for our cadets. We couldn't possibly release any for a program like this.
Oh, we can scrounge up some sort of planes from someplace to train them in. Yes.
Well, that's who we were, that untapped pool of overaged, overweight, undesirable, eager patriots. And our training planes were finally scrounged from civilians, crop dusting concerns, bush pilots, and defunct flying schools. Planes that had known the gentle touch of Wilbur and Orville Wright were wired and pasted together again. New rubber bands were put in as engines. But anyway, believe it or not, one day all of Baron von Richthofen's kamikaze flying circus took to the air. Or nearly all, anyway. We were given courses in acrobatic flying, cross-country and instrument training in Yakima, Washington. Then, after 15 months of training and just 3 weeks before we were to graduate and get our second lieutenant's commissions, the Vigoro hit the Mixmaster.
And this is the situation, gentlemen. Our casualties aren't nearly as high as we anticipated. And we have this large number of men completing their 25 missions overseas and coming home.
Well, that's good news, General.
Of course, but it simply means that we cannot use those 10,000 civilian pilot trainees who are supposed to be commissioned second lieutenants next month.
We need 10,000 more officers in the Air Corps, like we need 10,000 more Messerschmitts in the German Luftwaffe.
Well, so what do we do with them, gentlemen? I know the Navy wouldn't want them, and the infantry has already declined, and not too politely.
It's a sticky wicket, all right, sir. They're all college graduates, and they all enlisted in good faith.
Say, couldn't we just Section 8 them out of the service, sir?
Oh, I wish there was some way that we could discharge them without embarrassing them to death, or without making them all feel unwanted. Oh, well, undoubtedly we'll think of something. Yes.
So, we were given the news, and we were told to be ready to ship out for Buckley Field. That's 14 miles outside of Denver, Colorado, within 48 hours. As what, sir? Ma'am, Beachman asked. Buck privates, said the Lady Lord High Executioner.
Hey, look, boys! Pike's Peak!
Archie was very clear as to how he felt about Pike's Peak that morning.
May it rend asunder and crumble to dust before your very eyes.